For me, it was relationship troubles. Things were not as good at home as I feel like they should have been. And I thought the problem was me, not my spouse. And I needed to get some clarity around if it was a mismatch of who we were, or if we had just grown differently, or what that looked like. And I was hoping to get some insight for my truth. For my truth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have her blessing in coming out here. We talked about it at great length. And I can say without question it was a great decision. It really is a transformative experience, and one that has lent some clarity to all of my relationships with my kids. I see my relationship with my kids differently coming out of here. I will handle things differently than I have, in a way that's really important to me, actually. And I will treat my wife differently coming out of this as well. So for sure, those things will be different without any question at all. To be honest, a lot. Let's go to a foreign country with people I don't know, into the jungle to experience I don't know what, under what circumstances. I mean, to be totally honest, it's a complete wild card. Typically, something like this would be something I do that I knew someone had been through, or something, and I took it on faith, and it was well rewarded. The experience, every bit of it was incredibly well attended to and curated. There was never a moment of what happens next, who's running the show. It was everything was choreographed beautifully, so that we always knew that what was going to happen next would be safe and okay. And it made the whole process much better when I got here, frankly, than I could have anticipated. When I came, I had relatively low expectations, just not know what to expect, frankly. And I got here, and I was pleasantly surprised that every single turn of my head was better than I anticipated, for sure. I just think, for me, it seemed like the best way to get to truth without spending years, if you ever get to that point, I don't know. And I was at a spot where I couldn't wait. There wasn't the opportunity to let my relationship with my wife or my children degrade any further. It had to be addressed. And the best place to look for the solution is in myself. And so that's what I hoped and got from ayahuasca. I think for me, the notion of developing different relationships with my family, with my immediate family, I've drifted. One of my mentors has said, drift is a silent assassin. And I have drifted from the roots of who I knew myself to be. And I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go back and live my life with intention and with more love, and allowing other people to help me, to walk alongside me, instead of trying to be a lone wolf in everything, because that has not served me well. And I just didn't recognize how far I had drifted from where I wanted to be. And being here and going through these ceremonies of every sort really helped break that down for me and give me a much different perspective than I had previously. One thing is I'm gonna sit with my kids differently and give them space to communicate with me in a way that I haven't before. I've always been a bit of a stoic, and as such, I've probably encouraged them to be that same way. And I don't think it's a good way to be. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's productive. And I don't think that isolation is almost ever the answer. So I'm going to sit with them each and encourage them to open up a bit if I can. It'll take some time, I realize, because I've trained them for a long time to be quiet and reserved. But I will lead by example, and I will hold space for them to share the things that I may not want to hear, because they're important for them to be able to say and for me to hear as well. It's an amazing journey. I couldn't speak more highly of the whole experience. Really, as I said, every bit of it was so well accounted for and appointed and thought out. Every detail was attended to, so that the experience was the best it could be for every participant. There were 8 of us here this year. Incredibly impactful for all 8 in different ways. And that community, that sense of community and togetherness. The music was incredible, absolutely mind-blowingly powerful. And anyone who has any consideration of doing it should absolutely do it. It's the best 9 days I could have spent. I can't imagine a more productive outcome than the one I had from these 9 days. So yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled, and I will very likely do it again.
Any final words?
Do it. Do it. Just come. Just have faith. The whole system is so well structured to support everyone in every walk of life, from very young people to not so young people like myself, and everyone got something different and incredibly valuable from it. And if you have any consideration, do it without question. Come join.